She has certainly been known as the child bride, the girl who married her second cousin Jerry Lee Lewis at just 13 years old. Her first book, Great Balls of Fire, was published in 1989. But if you ask Myra Lewis Williams, she will tell you that that book left a lot unsaid. So fast forward now to her new release, The Spark That Survived. She says this is her real story. In her words, it is a book about how she overcame life's worst tragedies and her own, we'll say, bad decisions. We are so fortunate this morning to get to sit down with Myra Lewis Williams, and it is great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Glad
to be here.
So you were on quite a tour, going all over Tennessee. You've been to Asheville. You were in Big Stone Gap last night.
Yes.
Enjoying the people.
Oh, yeah, that was a great place. Oh, it's just like going home, you know.
Yeah, feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And also, we should mention you from Atlanta area now, live in Atlanta, successful realtor. Yeah.
32 years I've been a realtor.
32 years. And they were saying, her husband always says, I'm so surprised, because when you turn left, you're really turning right, and when you turn right, you're left. But somehow we always make it there, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's that woman's instinct that you have, you know, it gets you out of it.
Well, let's talk about the first book in 1989, The Great Balls of Fire, which was supposed to be your book. What happened?
It started out to be my book. It was the story I needed to write. And I found a writer, and he and I talked, and he said, I asked him how long it would take, and he said, oh, probably 3 months. It took 5 years because of all the research we wanted to do. And I wanted it to be this story, a woman's story of survival. I may have been 13 years old, it may have been a scandal, but I landed on my feet. And it's okay now. We're all okay for it. But the publishers, we went to New York with it, and the publisher said, that's not the story we want. We want music, rock and roll, Jerry, the people that he played with. They wanted Jerry's story, not Myra's story. They said simply, we don't want a woman's story of survival. I said, well, okay. So I have it now.
You have your story now. And of course, the movie came out, and you said the movie was the same way. Winona Ryder played your part.
Winona took it seriously. And she and I talked before they started the filming, and she couldn't understand why a certain thing happened the way it did, and I explained it to her. And she took it seriously. Dennis Quaid was intimidated by Jerry because Jerry kept glaring at him like, you better do a good job.
That would be very intimidating.
So Dennis began to act like goofy, you know. So it was not a good portrayal of Jerry. It was not, he played him more like the village idiot than young and innocent and happy. That type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. And this is your story, and I love the title, The Spark That Survived.
Yeah.
And I love the back cover, a book about how to overcome life's worst tragedies and your own bad decisions. I can tell you're a feisty one.
Okay.
But it sort of starts at the beginning. It starts about that day, that last day of school for you, 13.
My whole world and my life changed. And I had no idea. I had a surprise wedding.
He came in and was ready and had a marriage license.
He took a friend of his to the courthouse in Natchez, Mississippi, who posed as me. She was like 27 or something. She posed as me, signed my name to the marriage license certificate. He came to Memphis, brought it to me, and said, here, we're going to get married. And I said, huh? The first thing I thought was, don't you have to sit there and, stand there and say something like I do or something to be married? I misunderstood. He said, no, we're going to do that. And there was no talking him out of it. There was just.
You kept it a secret for a while, till the best time to really let it out of the bag.
Yeah. Oh, it was unbelievable.
It was, and to read about it, and you put a lot of humor in this, which I thought was really interesting. And I suppose for you now, looking back,
things become funny after a while. What hurt you and made you cry makes you laugh now, because as looking back, it's like, oh, that's funny. You know, that's what I did with everything. It's like the heartaches don't hurt anymore. It's all funny, and I love it now, and I've healed all the wounds, and I've crossed all the bridges and then burned them. So it's just a happy story.
It's your life.
Yeah.
And you said you would not change a thing. You've got a beautiful
I'd go back
daughter.
and do the same thing. Oh God, yes. Yes, wonderful little girl. Well, she's a little girl.
She's growing up, isn't
yes.
she? And this book takes us all the way through the years. There's photographs. I love that you've kind of pieced it out, and you bring us almost up to date to what it's like today.
Yeah, each chapter is a story. You can pick it up and read chapter 10 first, and you're not lost. Or you can pick it up and start at the beginning and go to the end. But you can read the end first and then go backwards. No story starts and runs through more than one chapter.
Wow. I could talk to you all day. And I know you all want to meet Myra and get a copy of her book. And you are going to do some book signings here in this area. We're going to give everybody the information if you would like to meet her and have her sign your book. She will be at the Johnson City Barnes & Noble. That's coming up tomorrow from 2 until 4. And then she's going to be at the Carter Fold over there in Hiltons, Virginia from 6 until 9. Myra, thank you so much for coming on Daytime.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. Can't wait to read the rest of your book. We're back with more right after this.